So I guess the one thing I wanted to share with everybody is, we've got a lot of clients now who sponsor these extended warranty products, but extended warranty is just a start. If you think about what you need to be a relevant provider, you have to have CPO, limited warranty, gap, some kind of theft protection product. There's actually 17 different products that if you really want to be relevant, you need to figure out how are you going to offer or support to your customer base. And the software that controls that is called an administration system. So most of our clients have two kinds of experts. They'll have a compliance firm they work with. And there's a lot of details in compliance. I don't know if you saw the start of this, but it goes a lot deeper, right? As well as an actuarial firm, somebody that will actually help them do all the projections. And we got 𝗪𝗓𝗧 here today, right, which is how we met them at Nissan. The good news is it's really simple to do if you've got the right admin system. One of the most simple things that are complex can still be simple to operate. So if you want to sell a service contract in the state of Florida, you just can't have your dealers quote any price they feel is fair. In Montana, they can. In Illinois, they can, but not in Florida. So if you've got 20 different automotive platforms used by your dealerships, which give you like a dealer track, a maximum track, how in the heck do you enforce that when you're the ones who get the cease and desist letter, right? And the answer is, well, there's software features. You say, click a box that says it's a regulated retail rate in Florida. It interfaces to all the 20 different vendors in Florida, follows all the rules because that's what an admin system does. So all these rules are really complex and they're getting more complex. They add the complexity. Well, we find the successful people will form, Nissan forms Nissan Financial Services, Toyota has Toyota Financial Services. As an OEM, you would have a group that would basically represent the financial services. And then you leverage two experts, right, which is typically a compliance and an actuary firm. And the rest is actually, if you have the right software, pretty easy to put together. So
I think that's the biggest barrier to entry to people that want to get into the space. They want to expand into the extended warranty space, or they want to innovate in their warranty offerings, is looking at a 50-state map with a patchwork of not consistent, sometimes even conflicting regulatory requirements, and having that mapped and then being able to use software and how that's administered. And that's what we're increasingly trying to do for our clients. So we're regularly building compliance database for, we'll do the 50-state survey on a legal question, but no one's going to look at a 50-state survey, 100-page Word document. That has to be operationalized into like a lookup table that someone can just go and do the right thing. Not
only that, but most OEMs here, you work in more than one country, right? So Canada isn't that far away. So there's a whole different set of compliance rules in Canada. So the way all these products are really regulated, it's a province by province, state by state basis. So when people come to me and they say, why don't we just use our OEM system for some of the stuff? I go, well, is your OEM system a specialty lines audited system for compliance? I mean, do you have the rules and regulations in there about how this industry works? And sometimes they got the service contract, but I guarantee you they don't have the gap policy, right? They don't have all the other products you need to bring to the market. And the last thing your boss wants to hear is you did something, but somehow it can't possibly work in Canada if you want to use it. It's just not a good thing, right?
Right.
So, but I don't want people to get intimidated by this. I mean, you have people, as long as you got access to the right individuals to guide you, this is actually a very streamlined process in the industry.
I think that's very true. It's not some crazy esoteric thing that I think as long as you just have the right guidance early in the key is to plan as early as possible. As you were saying, you don't want to get so far into development and then find you're blocked from the jurisdiction. What's worse, you don't want to bring to market and then get the cease and desist order. You invest a little bit in the compliance during the planning stage, you beta it at a couple places to make sure everything works correctly, then you roll it out on a national or international level, and at that cadence, it can be controlled and it can work just fine.
I don't know how many people here understand a cease and desist order had gotten one of those. So they're terror.
Yeah.
So imagine this, right? Imagine like you're building cars and everything's going great, and you get a letter that says, you haven't operated properly in Florida, stop making all your cars. Don't sell any more cars. They don't talk about the dealership that was wrong. They don't talk about the model that was wrong. They actually go to the Department of Florida Insurance, the Illinois Department of Insurance, and you get the letter for the whole insurance company.
The entire operation.
Right?
Shut down.
So don't ever get one of those. Don't ever learn what one of those are.
It should be the nuclear option, but all too often, it's just the first shot across the bow is just cease and desist.
So here's some areas of compliance that, so I started doing this when I was 23, which was just like a couple of years ago. I got people who work for me. It's a long time. So for us, it's natural that you should expect that we know all these things. And then you team up with the experts, and when you get into software, you just expect little check boxes. Oh, I'm issuing in Florida. And somehow, you might not know how, but all those 20 other automotive systems down in Florida are going to honor that, right? Because that's sort of what we do for people. But we recently did a project for JM&A, which we call Southeast Toyota. And they had a great idea. And they said, hey, rather than getting all this paper and all these mails on Gap, so for people here, when you buy your car, a lot of Americans are in debt. We like to spend money in America. I guess we really know how to keep an economy going. So it's not uncommon to lend somebody $35,000 to buy a $30,000 car, or with all the extra things you're buying and all the different packages. So, when you take your car out and you total it, there's not enough money between what the insurance company wants to pay versus what you owe. So the debt waiver says you're no longer responsible for the payments.
Right.
So with that, hey, wouldn't it be great to let the lenders actually get on a system and submit the gap claim electronically? Wouldn't it be great to let the consumers? So we responded to the RFP, and it says, that's a perfect assignment for PCMI. Let's partner together, let's do it. The place I blew my budget, and I did blow my budget, maybe I'm not supposed to admit that we're on camera here, was compliance. I mean, we've been building websites forever, right? And the guy said, yeah, but this is a consumer website, and this is the Wonder website. And, when you buy Gap, we expose things like the percentage rates and personal information. But then when they said, but you got to let a partially blind person run your website, did you check it for American Disability Act? I said, well, we've always worked with dealers, but they said, no, now you got a consumer audience filing insurance documents. And I said, well, if a partially blind person, how did they drive the car? And they go, that doesn't matter. There's people who just want to file lawsuits. They just get on websites and file lawsuits. So we had to spend so much time about what was going to be the policy document regarding the use of the website.
That's right.
The layout of the website, the compliance on the website. So you do need compliance experts, but the time frame is not long. I mean, the rules, but you have to do it every quarter. It's not like you can let your software sit there. Every quarter, we have to release software because there could be a new compliance rule. There could be a new termination provision, a cancellation provision. In some states, when you cancel a contract, you're allowed to deduct your claims, right? Because you've paid money out. Right. Other states, but if you haven't filed that correctly, you can't. But I don't want anybody to feel it's intimidating. You need experts. And again, we recommend two types of experts when we do projects. One is compliance, the other is actuary, and the rest, I think most people can figure it out. But we can make it easy. Yeah, questions?
I'll throw a question to the two of you. Sure. We've talked about the customer experience, talked about some of the legal pitfalls, but I mean, this can be a significant revenue source, right? I mean, being able to get into this space, if you're a company that's not been in the warranty space before, this can provide some real.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely.
It's a tremendous amount of money, but here's what I think is more important than the money, right? It is your number one customer retention tool, and your number way to build your brand is through having the customer have a good experience owning your product. And if something goes wrong, could be they got in an accident, not that they're able to come back and get another product from you, right? So what we do with these products, you saw that customer loyalty curve in the earlier example. Clearly those customers, when they bought their car, never came back because their perception was the dealer was too expensive and something else was easier, right? with these products, you know, they pay full retail rates to the dealers to fix the cars. The customers brings them back. If they got prepaid maintenance, they're building a relationship with their dealer. It's been proven over and over again. They'll buy another product from you. So I actually, although you make a lot of money, and I think Warren Buffett probably knows how to make more money than anybody, he loves our industry. You get a premium up front. You get a 7-year float, typically, for these products, right? But my customers tend to really focus. Everybody here's got a cell phone, right? 10 years ago, we all would buy a cell phone and we're worried about dropping it or breaking it. And Apple looked at that process and said, why do we not have Apple Care? And we want customers to buy another Apple phone. And what we're going to do is we're going to make it easier when that customer has a problem. Just bring it to the Apple store. We'll fix the screen. And by the way, we're going to make sure that the OEM part is used in the repair. How many of you care about an OEM part actually being used for the repair? When it's your program, you can enforce that part as an OEM part. So I buy Apple Care because it's so convenient. Right? I mean, I love it, right? I mean, I don't worry about my cell phone anymore. I buy the Apple Care. And what you're going to find also is that the way you sell more product is you encourage people to get a newer one every 2 to 3 years and not wait 10 years. And there's a lot of benefits to these products to increase the value. So when you go to do your trade-in, you get more money for your trade-in, which makes your new car purchase less.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great presentation. Let's give them a hand.
Thank you.